was like,
bar.
I
thought it was
Oh,
a
it's like
bar.
it's on
I like
there.
that the break
It's
room
like we're
rests.
little puppets. Okay, welcome back to the Break Room, our daily live show that keeps you updated on all the nerdy fandom news you need to know. Coming up on the show today, Marvel movies and Disney Plus series. What got pushed back? When will they be released? We're gonna discuss it and figure it all out and see if we can find out what's going on over there, huh? I'm Brandon Barrick, who cares? But we got Coy Jandreau on the show today.
Introduce, yes, Coy, Joy Jandreau.
Just Joy Coy
Joy
Jandreau. Next to Coy, we got Jessica Clemons.
Jessica Jemmons.
And next said
That's a cool name.
Jessica Jemmons, we got Tommy Bechtold.
Wait, did you say this is the break room?
Yeah.
I'm supposed to be on the snake room.
Oh.
Let me slither on out.
Oh, well, don't shed your skin too fast. Stick around. Lay some eggs.
Unhinge your jaws.
Vipers. Unhinge your jaws. Unhinge your jaws. Yes.
Okay.
I'm pissing.
You're
Twist.
pissing?
You know that a snake's digestive tract goes from the mouth to the south. I guess all digestive tracts.
I
do.
mean,
Yeah,
how it
that's
needs
why
to
when
work.
you
Wow, way to look smart.
Way to look dumb.
when you French kiss someone, you create like an uninterrupted 600-foot loop.
Great.
600-foot loop.
It's not a
because
loop.
of all
I
your
think it's just a.
intestines.
I think it's just a horseshoe.
Yeah, it's a tube. You make a tube
You make a long
Everything.
tube.
because of all your
Centipede.
intestines. Yeah.
Wow.
And think about that next time you're kissing your lover. That's why kissing's a sin. Until you're
to know.
married.
Good to
then
know.
you make that loop.
If you got more thoughts on kissing, call in.
that loop.
But before we get into our hot discussion today, let's talk about our merch options. You can go to nerdriot.shop and check out all of our awesome new merch inspired by the new season of The Mandalorian. In fact, I'm wearing one right now. Whoa!
The
It's
reveal.
that one and that one and that one. You know these characters.
Yeah.
You love them. I think
Oh,
that's
yeah.
Bo-Katan, right? That one?
Hey,
And
yes.
the watch.
Let's
and
not
the-
belittle the Mandalorian. Folks,
No.
I've been wearing these Mando shirts from our The Way collection on Nerd
Oh.
Shop all week. And let me tell you, the looks I'm getting from people, way less frowns than I'm used to. Way less people shouting F you in the streets than I'm used
okay.
to. And also, my bulging biceps have been shattering these sleeves.
Yeah, if you tuned in yesterday, you saw Tommy rip through his shirt like Lou Ferrigno. It was great. The best part is when you buy any item in our The Way collection, you get an opportunity to buy a shout out that'll appear with your name and whatever you want to say on our Wookiee Leaks. This is our Mandalorian after show.
And there's
hosted
no
by
limit
Tommy.
to what we'll say. Honestly, do you want us to tell your dad that you've never loved him? I'll do it. Do you want us to tell your son that you've never loved him either? Well, isn't that a nice,
Man.
perfectly closed loop? Much like people French kissing.
Stop looping people
What's with
around.
you
That's where the kid
Kissing.
came from.
I am in desperate need of a kiss.
Well, you can check out all these Mando merch options and buy those shout-outs at nerdriot.shop. Check it out. Tons of other merch options as well. You don't have to just get Mandalorian stuff. You can get whatever you want. Okay, now that we got that out of the way, let's get into our meaty discussion today. With Kevin Feige's comments about slowing down the cadence of what's getting released, both from Marvel movies and mainly on Disney Plus, it's likely we'll see a shift in the release date for some upcoming projects. So we wanted to talk about what the best and worst case scenario is for Marvel's upcoming slate. Because there's been a lot of news leaking out. You hear little rumors, you hear little bits. Oh, they moved a release date here. Oh, they don't like the writers here, or blah, 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 blah. So we're going to try and figure it out because there's a lot on the slate. A lot. You remember Comic-Con last year when The Rock had the best time ever?
Yeah, I mean, everybody was saying what a great time The Rock had, what a hit he was.
Right.
And
then
everybody
Kevin
liked him
Feige.
and nothing bad will ever happen to him.
Yeah, it's true. He's safe. He's safe. The Rock is safe. But then Kevin Feige took the stage and blew our minds.
That's right.
With this incredible slate. And then they even talked a little bit more about it at D23. There's some of it there, but already some of this is out of date. We got to update this bad boy. We got to change it.
Didn't that come directly from Marvel, or did we make it?
We made it ourselves.
Oh, nice. Look at us go.
Look at us go. By us, I mean not me. So there's a lot on this slate, so we want to talk about it, okay? And we're going to skip discussing some of the animated series, as well as some of the untitled in development Disney Plus live action projects, like Wonder Man, Nova, and the Wakanda series. There hasn't been much news about that. We haven't got like a cool little graphic for them or anything, so we don't really know what's going on with those. But let's jump right into it with the next big movie on the slate. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, okay? This is scheduled for release May 5th, 2023. We've had 2 trailers now at this point. This one we do know. We're very excited about it. This is definitely happening.
That one's safe.
That one's safe. Any day now, we'll probably get the trailer with the ticket release, right? Which will probably be the final trailer for that movie.
Yeah.
I'd say like late March, early
Late March?
April.
So what you're
'Cause
feeling?
I feel like 6 weeks is that sweet spot. So I feel
Yeah.
like we got about 2.
What do you guys think the song's gonna be? Sorry, I totally interrupted you.
What was that?
Oh, what's the song gonna be?
Oh, great question. I feel like it's gonna be something very upbeat while we see horrible, sad things, or it's gonna be something
okay.
very sad while we see happy things.
Yeah.
I feel like the third trailer is gonna be the extreme because they've played like the first trailer cripplingly sad, second trailer was joy. I feel like this third one's gonna be like you're gonna suffer.
Could you
Yeah.
imagine if they just played DMX? I feel like
I feel like that's safe for
Marvel.
X-Men.
It's only well,
Xavier comes out.
Oh,
and he's a lot
DMX
louder.
would be great for X-Men.
He comes out and he's going,
X gonna give it to you.
I hope you survive.
Oh my God, that's a great idea.
It's right there, guys.
No,
It writes itself.
Boy, that's genius.
We need
Cyclops
to make sure
Sparks in
Disney
this.
does it. They don't do enough DMX on their song.
Frankly,
I
I've
wonder
been saying
why.
that for years.
I
Deadpool
wonder
used
why.
DMX, but that's
that
as
is
close to
true.
the
That
X-Men
is
as we
what you're gonna
got.
get.
So that really.
Yeah.
But I'd like more X-Gene representation with DMX.
That's
Yeah.
true. They could use. Do you know the artist Cupcake?
I do not. Please inform me about Cupcake.
Look her
Is
up
he
later.
part of the Rough Riders?
She
'Cause
is.
the Rough Rider anthem was like definitely an early
she-
2000s koi hit.
Is she friends with Ice Spice?
Oh, they should be.
There's nothing better that I love more about the Rough Riders other than the name that they got their name from Young Guns,
Yes.
a movie with like
Emilio Estevez.
with Emilio Estevez,
Blue
like
Diamond
Christian
Film.
Slater.
Yeah,
It's
the
like,
second one had
I know
Colin
that
Farrell in
until
it.
now.
Like
it's
baby Colin Farrell
so
in the
silly.
second one.
The
I did not
sample
know
in that
that.
song is from that movie. It's such a weird thing.
I mean, the Rough Riders are very similar to the
Hey,
X-Men.
people-
It could work when they unite.
Well, and they made the Rough
the Rough
Riders
Riders
a
anthem.
1,000 times cooler than the movie
I
Young
miss that
Guns.
Jet Li, Jason Statham era when
Yeah.
DMX was in everything. You
Yeah,
know, like
yeah.
the one and like Unbreakable.
Romeo Must Die?
Yeah.
Romeo Must
More
Die.
DMX in films.
Oh my god.
Well, a little late for that.
Yeah, a little bit for that.
There's plenty in the back catalog. Tupac's still making music.
It's true. It's true. So Guardians of the Galaxy May 5th. That's safe. That's coming. We'll
DMX
get
song.
we'll get tickets maybe end of March. They do like to keep that 6 weeks cadence. Thor: Love and Thunder really play with that. They really made us wait
That
for
was like
trailers
2
for that
days,
movie.
2 days before.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They're like,
oh,
oh yeah,
shit.
this movie's coming out.
We forgot.
Now, I think the Guardians release is really interesting because we've seen everything shift after we started hearing rumblings about Ant-Man.
Right.
Like, Kevin Feige basically, I think, very smartly got ahead of the curve. It didn't feel reactionary. It felt like he wanted to say, hey, we're listening to the fans. Hey, this is what's happening. I think
Right.
if they'd waited even a week, it would have looked like, oh, because of the 72%. Instead, it was like, hey, we're Marvel. We listen to you. We know what we're doing. We're going
Yeah.
to do this. So I love that Guardians is next because I feel like Guardians is the safest bet of Phase 5. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like Guardians is ending something. It's a trilogy. It's likely going to be a very contained trilogy. It doesn't have to impact other Marvel things.
Yeah, they're
so
out of
having
space.
this done allows for a little bit of time before the Marvels, which I think is going to impact a lot. And I think the Marvels now has a lot more weight on its shoulders because it's kind of the first film after Ant-Man. Because I think a lot of people are going to go like, ooh, Marvel fatigue, and then Guardians come out, they're like, we're back! And I'm like,
Yeah.
that's separate. And then the Marvels, luckily it's Nia DaCosta. Luckily the team, I think, is incredible. I have a lot of faith in the Marvels. But that seems like, to me, the next, like, okay, we're going to reshoot this, we're going to get this settled. This is where Marvel kicks back off cinematically.
I don't mean to. I don't want to throw a random into this.
Throw a random in.
But for Guardians, do you think there's a chance we're gonna get Kamala Khan cameo when she switches places with Carol Danvers?
Like see what happened in
Yeah.
the show and get
Like,
it
like
continued.
in Guardians 3 in their post-credit scene? Is it gonna be like
okay.
that switch?
Oh, and wherever the Guardians are, we see
Yeah.
Kamala. That would be a very
Yeah.
interesting thing to see.
I think a post-credit scene might have the cosmic element in Guardians tied
right,
into like
yeah.
her bopping around,
Yeah.
but I don't know if they'd want any. I mean,
I don't think she'll
everybody's
be in the
dying.
movie proper. I think she'll be in the
I
post-credit.
don't even know if any Guardians survive.
You don't think any of them?
I mean, I think James Gunn's gonna leave Marvel with some blood in his hands.
What about the Red Guardian?
Because he wants to use all the actors in DC projects.
He's just like, all right, they're done here. We need scheduling to be cleared up. We did some reshoots.
Right. If anything, I could see Kamala appearing wherever Adam Warlock is. I think Adam Warlock definitely survives that movie.
I think
Adam
Adam
Warlock is
Warlock's
like, who are you?
Right.
Like afraid of her and just beats the shit out of her.
Jesus.
That'd be horrible.
She'll embiggen. She'll be fine.
There you go.
And as we talk about all these kind of shifting stories of like release dates and projects, kind of looming out there, not to get too businessy behind the scenes with it, but there's a writers contract renegotiation coming up that could lead to a writer's strike, which could affect especially television series. And we also know potential VFX issues. There was that story that came out after Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania about like VFX artists being pulled to Wakanda Forever to get that finished in time, and that maybe put a strain on Quantumania. I mean, they even made the joke in She-Hulk when Kevin said, no, we need our VFX artist somewhere else, and you heard the Wakanda drums, right? So if there is kind of issues with both the Writers Guild going on and VFX artists, like that could affect these things. Marvel could see this coming and be like, we're going to push some things back. Well, speaking of series, our next Disney Plus live action series is supposed to be Secret Invasion. Now, the release was announced to be spring 2023.
Yeah.
That was a thing we saw at Comic-Con. That's what we had all kind of based it on. A lot of rumors out there are saying now like a May release, which is technically still spring. Spring, if you go by the Gregorian calendar, will go until June 21st when we officially roll into summer. I think a lot of us think of summer beginning in May at the end of school and stuff like that. I just got out of school. I was born in 2002, so I'm pretty young.
I love their calendars.
You love their chants and calendars. It's
Gregorians. Yeah, when did you get out of school? When did you graduate?
2018? Yeah, that sounds about right.
This to me feels like the Guardians of the TV shows. This and Loki feel like the things that are the easiest to
because
really
we got
know
a
what they
full
are.
trailer like
It's done, I think.
5 months ago for Secret Invasion.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. Are we sure Chang Can Dunk is a real movie and not just Secret Invasion invading via movie title?
I like that take.
Tommy of your great theory for how
I
Disney
think
Plus should handle
Disney
Secret
Plus should
Invasion.
put out a fake movie or TV show, and then as soon as the movie starts, Secret Invasion invades it, and then that launches.
Okay, there's another layer to that.
Yeah.
That movie stars Chase Liefeld, who is Rob Liefeld's son. Rob Liefeld invented Deadpool.
Oh my
Deadpool's
gosh.
coming into the MCU.
Oh my
We use
gosh.
a Rob Liefeld progeny to bring in Deadpool through
my
Secret Invasion.
gosh.
There it is. It writes itself.
You know who did that? Cartoon Network. They
What'd
came
they
out
do
with
with
a
it?
show that would that was showing up in other people's show and eating that show up.
What show was that?
I can't remember the
Did
title.
it come
of
out
it.
already?
I can't
like
remember the title.
Gumball
at the same time.
or-
No, but
Oh.
it went into Gumball. It went into
Okay.
Scooby Doo.
It was another
went into
show
everything.
consuming other
yeah,
shows?
and it was,
That's fun.
but that monster and that entity was the villain in that show.
Oh, I love it.
And so
That's
I was
great.
like, oh, this is a great idea. I
Well,
agree with
we'll
you.
have to see.
Disney needs to do it.
Well, as we talk about Secret Invasion and when it might come out, The Last of Us cinematographer Evan Bolter was allegedly hired to film reshoots. That news breaking only a few weeks ago. Now, when they say shooting reshoots, they don't necessarily mean, oh, we're redoing a whole episode. It could be 2 minutes of footage that they're
Maybe
reshooting.
an actor peed his pants a little bit. They got to do a bottom shot.
that might be true.
He's turning into a snake.
I'm just talking about reshoots
Yeah.
I've had to do in my life.
It could also, we know how Marvel is this weird
answer?
this weird web where if you cut one thing, it affects other parts. So it's like if a project gets moved, you have to kind of shift something in another series. So if something else got moved, it could affect a reshoot they need to do for Secret Invasion. Hollywood Reporter also said that this is one of the 2 guaranteed Disney Plus shows to premiere this year. The other one being Loki. We're pretty sure. I put all my money on we definitely get Loki
Yes.
and Secret Invasion this year. I'd also put my money on maybe that's all we get as far as like live action series.
Especially
this
with
year.
the strike, like I didn't know if we were going to tie that into this, but I do feel like the writer's strike is nigh inevitable, and I do feel like there's going to be an element of, okay, we've got this shot, we can't really even do additional photography unless the stuff was already written. We need to keep on path because I feel like they just righted the ship pacing-wise from the lockdown. So
Right.
like if we're just getting a rhythm back, we need to set that rhythm, hold to it. It might make sense to allow the visual effects artist to have more time, as well as ensure if this writer's strike goes like 6 months, you don't want that to be, we just got our feet back and then we fall over again. So I think it's really smart to hold those things. And I also think it's really smart to, while everyone's complaining about Marvel, put out your greatest hits. Like Guardians is going to be
Yeah.
spectacular.
Yeah, it's gonna-
Secret
100%.
Invasion looks like the best thing since Winter Soldier. I think Loki, it's the first one's my
Loki's-
favorite show.
yeah,
So
that was
I
great.
think it's smart. And then, like I said, Nia DaCosta doing the Marvels, like all of this looks exceptional. Not that Ant-Man didn't, not that Ant-Man wasn't. It's just, I think it's really smart of them to be like, let's spread it out, let's take our time, and I think these are bangers.
Right.
I agree.
Bangers.
As the banger, and of course in Secret Invasion we're gonna have Don Cheadle. He's a big part of it, and that'll kick off the story for Armor Wars, which was gonna be a show, but is now gonna be a movie.
That was the first domino, I think. I think when they looked at visual effects, they looked at the runtime, they looked at the writing. I feel like if we looked back at when they announced that was becoming a show, it's been a pretty consistent like pivot, shift.
Yeah.
And I think that they've been doing these little micro adjustments for longer than we realize. And I think, again, this is for the best long term.
Right.
It just feels tempestuous right now.
Yeah. Okay. Now another big hit show that we were just talking about, Loki Season 2. Again, that was announced to release summer 2023. Loki Season 1 was during the summer as well. It's a great summer show. Feels great. It is the other guaranteed Disney Plus show, which we were talking about, that the Hollywood Reporter was saying, which makes a lot of sense, especially given the post-credit scene we just saw in Quantumania, showing the reunion of Loki and Mobius, and maybe keeping up the tradition of using footage from something that's already been shot as a post-credit scene, something they had done before with like a shot from Civil War, a shot from like Thor Ragnarok. They love doing that. It's an easy post-credit to take something you already shot and be like, you'll see this again soon.
And what's summer
yeah.
good for? Jet skis.
Jet skis?
Owen Wilson on jet ski. It's coming this season.
He's absolutely right.
I need it.
Get him on that jet ski. Get him on that jet ski. Is that shirt still available in the nerdriot.shop? Can you still get that shirt? I don't know.
I will be right back. I'm so sorry. I have a malfunction with my
Okay.
shirt.
Goodbye. Get out of here.
Gotta ride jet ski.
All right. Another movie we want to talk about that we know is coming out this year because it got a release date. The Marvels, baby.
Oh, yeah, what is that date?
Well, it is now November 10th, 2023. It was originally scheduled for July 28th, 2023. It got pushed via a poster release that came out. They were like, look at this poster. Also, we changed the date.
Look down below. Okay, that's good.
I feel like it was an hour after it came out that someone actually finally noticed.
Yeah, they're like, wait a sec.
wait, November 10th.
You
That's
know
a
what's
bigger
funny?
number.
I didn't even know it was July 28th was the original date.
Yeah.
All I did as a true narcissist was read that date and go, Bechtold Birthday Bash Bonanza?
Oh, that's right.
Marvels?
That's
We're
right.
going to be renting a theater out and seeing the Marvels? Me and 200 of my closest friends. Everyone, gifts are required, and I prefer cash.
And while not MCU, but does include Owen Wilson, they moved Haunted Mansion into the Marvel
that's
spot.
right.
So we will be seeing Mobius this summer,
Haunted
possibly
Mansion.
twice. Now, the push for Marvels came after Feige's comments about slowing down were made. Speaking with Entertainment Weekly, he had said, quote, the pace at which we're putting out Disney Plus shows will change so they can each get a chance to shine. He was, of course, referring to both spacing out releases as also putting out fewer shows per year. So I think there was some feeling among Marvel's fans that a lot of these shows were rushed. Maybe VFX wasn't all the way it could be. We know they've been going back and making little tweaks here and there. If you go back and look at Ms. Marvel now, the Statue of Liberty, which was shown as the greened bronze that we all know, or green copper? Bronze? Copper. Bronze? Copper. That we all know. If you're the Statue of Liberty, call in. We were all like, wait, I thought No Way Home said they had changed it. Oh, maybe they fixed it after the fight happened. And then, no, they've just gone back and changed the color again. So it is now the color you saw it in No Way Home after the refurb it got in the MCU. So we know they're always making these little tweaks. So I think giving a little more time to make sure everything makes sense and that they know what time these shows take place and there's not weird things that show creators say that drive us nuts about the timelines. Yeah, get it fixed. So it makes sense that they're pushing back Marvels, especially if little tweaks can make it that much better. We've talked about it before. We saw a little bit of footage from the Marvels at D23. It looked great. It looked fun, really cool, a lot of fun. Make it the best it can be. I can wait.
I also think you can only release a movie once. Like, you can only have a first impression movie once. And
There
I
you
feel
go.
like, with this change in the CEO, with the change of perspective, it'll be better for the overall brand to have all positivity front loaded as opposed to like, we figured it out. Like, I just feel like I'd rather them have shifts now than in 2 years go like, okay, we have to put this back together.
Coy, I don't want to mansplain you, but
Please tell me how.
I would like to reference a little movie that decided a secondary release based on meme culture and found great success. A little film called Morbius. And how successful was that second release date? They made thousands of dollars.
They did make thousands of dollars. So another show we are going to talk about. This is an animated show. I know I said we wouldn't get into this too much, but we'll talk about this one. What If Season 2. Now, the release date, we don't know. The Disney Plus Originals website says that streaming early 2023, which I guess early 2023 is anytime before month 7? I don't know. What do we consider early 2023?
I'd say anytime before November.
Okay.
November 10th or so.
Yeah, November 10th is a date that's sticking out to me. We have a P.O. box
I don't
now,
know.
right?
James
We
Gunn
do have
was
a P.O.
like,
box.
People want to send stuff they need to send by November 10th to our P.O. box.
Yeah,
Is James Gunn coming on What
November
If?
10th. No, I was gonna say if James Gunn has anything to do with it because he was like, oh, by the end of January or like by January, and then it was
Yeah, James Gunn,
31st.
December 30th is the
So maybe it's May 30th, like right before June halfway. But also, the way we looked at What If, they said that the first What If was about the first 3 phases of Marvel. The second What If was about phase 4. So you don't want it to get too deep into phase 5 if you're going to be leaning into your recent past. Also, with Loki, you're dealing with time travel, and it seems like Miss Minutes is in Deadpool. So are there going to be elements
Miss
of Loki?
Minutes is in Deadpool now?
What's
Cogsworth
Ryan
got
Reynolds
to
is
say
talking
about that?
to Lady Miss Minutes on Twitter.
But that's not an
That's
official
not an
account.
official account.
I'm
It's
calling
just a
it.
Miss Minutes.
They need to take
happening.
over that account. I
You
love
heard
the
it here
account.
first. Sorry, Cogsworth. Ms. Minutes has found a new man, and it's Deadpool.
That is Deadpool. I love the idea of that account. I just need. It's like Disney's like technically it's not.
I think it's
has
Feige's
anything to
burner
do with
account is what I think.
That's how
it
he
is.
watches. He's
Yeah,
always
yeah.
ready. And it makes sense he time travels.
He's
Yeah.
tweeting.
That's how he
through
gets so
it.
much done.
Yeah. Now, you make a good point, Coy, that What If is very referential to the mainline MCU. And Variety have reported that characters from Shang-Chi will battle it out with the Asgardians, and the Captain Carter storyline will continue in season 2 of What If,
That'll be
as
so
she
fun.
finds that Steve has been preserved within the Hydra Stomper, and I bet he smells great.
Yeah. Fresh.
He does.
Well, I mean, if it's
he probably
frozen,
stinks
you
inside
know,
of there.
maybe
He still
it's
stinks
just
inside of there. Does he ever get to come out of it? No.
Let me ask
He
you
stinks in
something.
there. Yeah, ask me something.
Do you make waste in hypersleep or in stasis?
Your body
Oh,
freezes, right?
I think most sci-fi contends that if you go into some sort of hyperstasis thing, much like a bear in hibernation, your metabolism slows
it
down to
slows
such a
down,
point
yeah.
that you're not
Because
just
only
like pooping
frogs
your
poop
pants.
when
But
they're
if you're
frozen.
Yeah,
in a
yeah.
coma, you
Can
do.
I request
yeah.
if
That's
I'm
still
ever
moving.
frozen to have my metabolism stay slightly higher so,
So
I
you're
drop
still-
a few pounds?
Yeah, yeah. You're looking for like a don't worry, darling.
I can't do it
scenario.
all with these delicious factor meals.
We'll get to
I
factor
like how you're
meals
like, I
in a
also have to
second.
starve.
Another Disney Plus live action series we should talk about is Echo, which was originally announced to come out summer 2023. That's probably not going to happen, especially if they've got 2 other shows they're trying to squeeze out and maybe an animated series in the summer. In a podcast appearance, showrunner Mario Diary said in December that Echo would come out around a year after the podcast episode drops. While Echo actor Alakwa Cox tweeted, "Can October hurry the TF up and get here already?" She probably meant the fuck.
He said it.
The fuck?
It's
We're a
3:30,
half
we're
hour
good.
in.
Fuck
We're a half
it.
hour in. And when asked if Echo was coming out in October, she cryptically responded with the zipped mouth emoji.
Yeah, which I think means she's going for Halloween as a gimp.
She's
I
going
think
as
it's all
the gift from Pulp
points.
Fiction.
Pulp Fiction
All
crossover
points.
canon.
Now, filming allegedly concluded for Echo last August. So this show's been shot. We're kind of waiting for it. This is one where I'm like, they might push it till next year if they want to slow things down, especially if, they want to get What If out this year. If they've got another special presentation they're secretly hiding from us and they're going to drop on us suddenly. I don't know. I don't know about Echo this year.
I feel like Echo ties into Daredevil, and therefore it might be better to have it released closer to Daredevil if it doesn't affect other things, especially
Right.
if there's a writer's strike. It'd be better to have a show in
Yeah.
the pocket to have at the ready if they're holding everything else. So I could see this being released either the year of Daredevil, which I think is 2025,
I think so.
or maybe they do it late quarter
Yeah.
4, 2024. Just so
I-
it's
He's
closer.
60 by then.
The room.
We all
Go ahead.
I think it's going to show up in 2023's Echo, which is what I call the beginning of 2024.
Oh, okay. Okay. There are reports, I think this has pretty much been confirmed that Daredevil and Kingpin are going to show up in
so.
Echo.
Yeah.
There was like that.
Or at least
I think
Kingpin
Kevin Feige
is.
said at D23.
Well, there was like a costume designer who had added to her resume that she worked on Daredevil
You
and Kingpin for that
guys.
show.
Guys,
Everyone
clean
was
up
like,
your
"Eh."
resumes, okay?
What was-
trying to
Don't
get
turn
work.
LinkedIn into SyncTin.
Disney did that. Another Disney employee, I think it was a production designer, put like the blueprints of like a set she built on her
Yeah,
website.
yeah, yeah,
I forgot what that was for.
People
I
are just
feel
trying to get
bad.
work out there.
I feel bad for the Marvel people because it's like, yeah, you work on this show, then you have to wait. God knows how long
can't
for it to
even
come
imagine.
out.
You got to get jobs. You got to go out there and get jobs.
Yeah.
You got to be on LinkedIn, working
and
the
working on
levers.
Deadpool is a big deal.
Also,
Or
if you know how
Daredevil,
LinkedIn
or
works,
Echo.
call in. We do see our super chatters out there. Thank you so much for sending in super chats. GSU Eagle 117 saying, "When will Disney give us the short of Cogsworth destroying Miss Minutes?"
It's too late. She's
Hopefully
moved on.
Never. Hopefully
She's
never.
moved on, GSU Eagle.
And Alejandro Escalante saying, "If the MCU is doing an all-out multiverse, I want to see either Godzilla versus the Avengers or American Kaiju. That would be awesome. I would love.
yes.
Don't even do a what if. Make me a live action Avengers versus the Kaiju. I mean, we kind of got that in the Suicide Squad. Where
Yeah,
they
there's
fought
been
a
that.
star.
It's
That
totally
was
do.
fun.
And it was very fun in Suicide Squad.
It was very fun.
You know
mean,
what
you could-
bothered me about that? The starfish connected themselves to people's faces, and then they were dead forever. I don't like that. I think once once Starro was dead, the people should go back to their families.
Nah, that's not how the kaiju works.
That's not how the Kaiju work.
I also think that with Alien and Predator being canon
maybe.
in Disney, that
Now
you could
they
do a
own it,
really
yeah.
special
Oh,
Avengers
God,
versus
if
Alien
Yes.
versus
And-
Predator.
Freaking
Yes.
alien showed up.
And also
Alien
means the Alien
sequel
Queen's a
is,
princess.
I got an email from Fox today.
Saw that.
Alien sequel is starting principal photography now.
Oh.
Is this?
I thought it was
this
gonna be
is
an
the
audition. I
This
was
is
like,
the
good
prequel
job.
where the aliens are on Earth.
No, this is where this is like an alien in the alien world, another crew goes to a distant planet
Oh,
and
okay.
encounters.
Okay.
Which, like, we saw how Predator did. I think that can work great.
Yeah.
Predator's
Yeah.
amazing.
Predator, great.
Yeah, and there was a great Dark Horse comic, Batman versus
Yes.
Aliens,
Yeah.
which is so
There
good.
was.
Check them out. But we got lots more to talk about with the upcoming slate. But first, good health starts with good habits, and Quip makes it easy by delivering all the oral care essentials you need to care for your mouth.
Hell yeah.
Their electric toothbrush has time sonic vibrations that keep you going as long as the dentist recommends you brush, so you don't even have to worry about if you're doing it enough.
Good
And
vibrations.
they have like fun tools like this little bad boy, which you can, is a little water pick, spray the water out of your mouth if you feel guilty about all the floss you're throwing into the ocean.
Put
killing
some
those sea
Jack
turtles.
Daniels in there. Make
Yeah.
a weekend of
Yeah,
it.
make a lot of fun out of it. But check out Quip. And if you go to getquip.com/breakroom right now, or as soon as this video is over, you'll get 20% off any Quip water flosser, Quip toothbrush, or Quip's gum starter kit. That's 20% off any water flosser, toothbrush, or gum starter kit at getquip.com/breakroom. That's GETQUIP.com/breakroom. Quip, the good habits company. Okay. What else we got on this Disney slate? Well, folks, we got Ironheart. That's another Disney Plus live action show. The release was originally announced as fall 2023. We, of course, know that Ironheart will have Riri Williams in it, who was introduced in Wakanda Forever. Now, filming had initially wrapped last November. That's what we had heard. There are some like rumors out there that like this one also is getting pushed back a little bit, and we may not see it in 2023. At D23, they had the cast there. They had some very early footage.
Yeah.
This is also the show that the rumor is Sacha Baron Cohen is going to be Mephisto. Lots of weird stuff around this show. We know Riri Williams is an important character, obviously being introduced in Wakanda Forever. And Ryan Coogler is like a producer on this series.
Series looks great. The footage was incredible.
Yeah, they showed some really fun footage. Not a ton of like effects, action stuff, but just like a little bit of stuff. And they're in Chicago, right? I believe. So yeah, what are your feelings on this one? Do you think this one is going to make it out in the fall? Will they keep this one and move Echo?
I don't think so, but here's my thing. Every time I worry that, if you introduce a character and then don't reintroduce them soon enough, people will forget, I'm always proven wrong. I thought Riri Williams had a dynamite entrance into the MCU in Black Panther Wakanda Forever. I'm excited for her to come back.
Right.
But I also think if this means we can dedicate more time to making the suit look amazing, making the bad guys look amazing, make all the effects look amazing, and we got to wait a few more months, it's worth the wait. There's a lot of good stuff coming out. Give it to us and give it to us good.
And she'll be going back to that like homemade suit too. Like her cool anime suit has to stay in Wakanda.
Yeah. But her building new things, I want like as fleshed out as possible. So
Yeah.
there were even a couple shots from Wakanda Forever which had all the visual effects, where it was like, okay, this didn't have as much time as this.
Right.
So I'd love if they had ample time. And also, it looks like they're bringing in magic and science, because the Hood is the villain. And they talked about the blend of magic and science. So as much as I want it close to Wakanda Forever, I also think if you're bringing in Doom for Secret Wars and those things start to come, it also could behoove them to have it closer to those releases.
I do like that. And I love like that practical suit that she has.
Yeah.
The behind the scenes for Wakanda Forever, which you did a great video about. That like suit that they first find her in was like very practical. She had to like be put into it, and it looks awesome. Very cool. I really like that. Well, speaking of suits and mech suits and Iron Man suits, Armor Wars does not have a release date. We have no idea. This one always makes me laugh because this is like the forgotten child.
Yeah.
This was at Comic-Con. They didn't mention it at all, right?
Armor Wars is MCU's apologies to Andor.
Right.
They're like, apologies to Armor Wars. We will.
We promised Don Cheadle he could have another thing. Armor Wars. Yeah, we'll do it. It's a show. No, it's a movie.
Maybe it should just be a series of digital poems.
Oh, digital poems.
Yeah, like NFTs. Release Armor Wars as NFTs.
Oh, I would watch that.
Bored apes.
So yeah,
Hungry hamsters.
what's going to be
Hip-hop hippos.
It was going to be a live action series as of last September, but Marvel did announce it'll now be a film. Marvel producer Nate Morris said that they would not be pursuing Disney Plus Marvel movies, wanting to preserve the theatrical experience. So for anyone who was thinking like, oh, they're turning this series into a movie, that just means it'll be on Disney Plus. No, it's going to get a full theatrical release. It'll get the whole treatment.
It's also effectively, we've had Thor 4 as the first 4, but we're getting Captain America 4 as soon as next year.
New World Order? Yeah.
New World Order. And then this is, to me, Iron Man 4. So they might be also giving it a little time to restructure core team that's going to be whoever the new Avengers are leading the Secret Wars and Kang Dynasty thing. So I think this does need to come out before then, but if they're not announcing a release date because they're moving things around, I could see Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars shifting accordingly because I think you need these things to come out.
Oh, you think they'll move the Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars dates?
I think we'll wait.
Oh, yeah.
I think we're going to give it 6 months, and
yeah.
then they're going to move this.
I
I think
think-
we're going to wait
okay.
a little time, and it's going to be like,
Whoop.
I don't want
and they'll distract us.
See you
with
in
some
2027.
100%.
Damn, 2027. I'm gonna be like 31 by then.
Whoa, bro,
crazy.
so old.
Back in grad school.
Oh
But
my
I think
God.
that like with Armor Wars, it's important. I think an Iron Man 4 is important, and I think you need that to be a big spectacle. And also the story's great. It's a fantastic comic. I think Sam Rockwell coming back might tie into Thunderbolts, and I
Yes,
think Sam Rockwell is
please.
coming back. Give him those orange palms. But I do think that that movie is more essential than it seems to be from the lack of like details. Like I
Right.
think it's going to be big. We just don't know.
Yeah, I think it's not great how they kind of kept forgetting about it.
Something
but-
that name it on the Kindle
I
show.
read
Yeah,
a really ridiculous. I was going through a phase of reading really ridiculous comics, as ridiculous
love
as
it.
I could.
I love
and
it.
I found the armor. It's not like Armor Wars, but it's the Punisher in like an Armor Wars suit.
Oh.
And I was like, oh.
That sounds like
bring
a
him in.
dangerous idea.
Bring him in. He was not
Frank
helpful
Castle
at
in
all.
an Iron Man
He was
suit?
not helpful whatsoever. He just was a man with more guns, with more weapons.
A man with more guns. Now, another animated Disney Plus series we should talk about is X-Men 97.
Yeah.
Which was originally announced as a 2023 release. This, of course, continues the
Was
story.
it?
Yeah, it was
Yeah, it was
originally
supposed
announced
to be
for 2023, along with like What If Season 2. This animated series is continuing the story of the 1990s animated series that a lot of people agree didn't get the ending it deserved. It kind of just ended if you grew up watching that on Fox in the mornings. So this will likely not feature into the mainline MCU, we think. But as Disney and Marvel's first formal iteration of X-Men, it will be very interesting to see.
Can't wait. Frank Moran, come on the show. Tell us all about it.
Well-
We love you, Frank.
And we're not getting into Across the Spider-Verse as much here because that's more of a Sony thing. But like, there are rumors that Across the Spider-Verse is trying to either have like an animated Tom Holland or take like an animated Miles Morales into a live action scene with Tom Holland in some sort of Roger Rabbit-esque scenario that I can't even imagine.
He's gonna be the judge.
And that's so soon.
That's
Like, that's
soon.
May.
And I think if there's anything like that, that will change how we look at the X-Men. Because if there's some weird moment at the end of X-Men 97 where a portal opens and they walk through and now there are people and they're in the MCU, that would be insane. But
It'd be insane,
it's
but
possible.
I just need it. So
Just bring
it-
Jubilee.
honestly-
That's all I care about.
No, you
Get
can leave. She can
Jubilee.
stay in the other universe.
Ouch.
The rest of them can. Dazzler can come.
Jubilee is
all
the
of them
key
can
to
come.
everything.
She's the key. We won't get into the Jubilee trilogy, which is scheduled to start after Secret Wars, but we'll talk
When
about
I'm
that
gay.
another day.
Whoa.
Now, Agatha, Coven of Chaos. I'm very excited for this one. This is, of
too.
course, a Disney Plus live action show. Its release was originally announced as winter 2023 or 2024, like somewhere in that kind of area. It's currently filming right now and is scheduled to wrap in April. With all this talk of all these other series that was scheduled for 2023, I don't see any chance that this comes out.
Yeah.
This one's not even finished
it's gonna
filming
get
yet.
cut.
No.
And in theory, Echo's finished filming and Ironheart's finished filming.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they would rush this one. Though again, it does depend on what characters they need where. Because you put it out, Coy, that like the pandemic lockdown really changed the cadence of release for Phase 4
Look at, like,
and
Falcon
the
Winter
Disney
Soldier.
Plus show.
Yeah, that one, like, the writing had
WandaVision was
changed.
not supposed to be the first series.
Right. And I think Falcon Winter Soldier.
No.
No,
Falcon Winter Soldier had a whole subplot about like
A disease.
virus,
Yeah.
and that you had to get this
But
like
it was
thing that they
during
were holding.
COVID. That's
Yeah.
why when the woman died, it was just so.
It was very strange.
And when they opened that
unnecessary.
truck and they were like, "These vaccines," and I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah, okay.
But I think that we are still. I think we're wrapping up that chunk of
Right.
the things created during that time. That's why I think they're being so cautious with the writer's strike because they don't want to go through a movie experience again where it's like, "Ooh, this feels not quite baked."
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah, they're trying to make it make sense. Make it make sense. But yeah, I'm very bullish on Coven of Chaos 2024.
2024
Yes.
probably
See there.
Halloween.
Yeah.
Halloween would be amazing.
They're so
Have
good
a
at
spooky
making
show.
sure the movies don't come out like around that time. It's like, clearly like a Halloween show, but they're never gonna make it come out. It's gonna come out like November, and I'm gonna be
They
like,
gave
you
us
can just
Werewolf
push
by
it.
Night, you know?
But that was
close.
it. That was it. That I think about this all the time because I'm like, yeah, WandaVision could have been closer to like Halloween,
Right.
and they're like, no.
I had a Halloween episode.
Yeah.
They should have had Iron Groot out on Arbor Day. Telling
Yeah.
you. Would've
Should've
been
done
perfect.
They're not.
Man.
I guess it's really
Right
hard
there.
to like use the. They push things so often. It's like we can't come
Count
out on
these
a holiday.
holidays out.
Please
What do you
don't.
They
want
should
from
do
us?
Are you out of your
Loki.
mind?
They should do Loki on Turn Back the Clock Day.
Groundhog Day?
Miss
It's
Minute.
the last one ever. They
Miss Minute.
changed the daylight savings thing. We're not going to do that again after
Oh
this
yeah,
one.
we're not.
This
So
is
they should,
it?
yeah, this is the last one.
Is
We'll
that
see.
true, or is that one of those rumors like water's good for you?
You can't kick me off daylight savings time.
Water's
I'm
not good
farmer.
for
I'm going to do it myself.
I gotta go to bed.
You're
My
not
crops.
a
We see you an
farmer.
hour earlier or late the rest of the year.
Yeah. I live like Arizona. I don't pay attention to that. Vision
Yeah, what else
Quest.
about Arizona do you agree with? What other holidays are you going to be a little late in
We'll see.
adopting? All right.
Vision Quest is another series from Disney Plus, live action. We have no idea when this is supposed to be released. We just got the announcement they were making it. This is another WandaVision spin-off, much like Coven of Chaos, featuring White Vision regaining his memory. This is one of the more recently announced projects. Do we think that White Vision somehow is going to factor into Avengers
I hope he's just
Dynasty and
flying
Avengers Secret
around
Wars?
doing logic puzzles with people.
MT had a really good pitch about how Victor Timely will probably want to be involved with whatever White Vision
He's
is.
not here right now. I'm just kidding. That's a great idea. Great idea. Great idea.
I mean, is the 616 the only multiverse with a White Vision? Because if all the other visions and all the other multiverses got destroyed by Thanos or something, is he the only one that's
I don't
left?
think so,
I think
because
of-
if you look at the probability field that Scott went into,
Right.
I think it's not only just the probabilities of the outcomes. I think it is different versions of him that could span across the multiverse. So I think if we think in that way, there's a bunch of visions that are not visions, that are not even in like a form. They're like still the robot version, or like in the computer.
Or they're
the
Ultrons,
software.
right?
Or
Ultron
they're
got the
Ultron
body.
And what if?
Yeah, we saw
I
that
think
one.
you
I
guys
think
are wrong. I like to think of visions like Crayola crayons.
Okay.
Every universe has a different color vision. Some have brick red visions.
Oh, okay.
Others have peach visions.
Oh, delicious.
Yeah.
There's a really good comic right now that just started, Scarlet Witch, in her own solo series. They're only on issue 2, and it's great. It's
Yeah, no,
spectacular.
yes, keep going.
In issue 2, Viv Vision is featured, and I wouldn't be surprised if in the White Vision show they introduce those kids if they do Young Avengers, because I know they've said recently Young Avengers isn't on the docket, but I do think that's a mislead, and I think that Viv Vision would be an interesting take because it's kind of an interesting parallel between Scarlet Witch wanted children, and we saw what happened in Multiverse of Madness because of it. It'd be cool to see the Vision children be actually a thing that goes forward, and it'd be parallel of maybe like what White Vision needs to feel whole, to feel like a family. I could see them using those storylines, especially since in the comics they're coming back to Grace.
Yeah, Wanda's in this one, Vision Quest.
Maybe we don't. We
know.
know
That
very
was
little about it.
Because what if it's not far along from the? I have two things. What if it's not too far along from the comics where Vision meets another robot
Right.
and has their own robot, where Sparky came from?
Yeah.
So
okay.
why can't it just be? What if it's just that? That would be. I'd be
I just
mad
want
if
a
that's the
cycle
White
of-
Vision.
Suburb White
Yeah, I
Vision
was like,
show.
I don't want White Vision in the
I was wondering if it was
suburb.
right there. Come on.
Hey,
Adopts a dog named Sparky.
I don't want that.
What do you call killing vision?
I don't know.
Division.
Okay.
what was your
Die
second
Vision?
thing?
Oh, what happened to your finger? Are you okay?
Oh, I cut it so deep that I had
I
to-
can-
Oh yeah.
Why did you
cut it.
ask him
Yeah, I
about
that was a very
Well,
short
no,
response
no,
from
no,
her.
no.
Hang on. This is important. This is important. What do you call taking your time when you kill division?
Multiplication.
Long division.
Oh, you were close. You were close. You're reading into it. I was
All I
confused.
want is a cycle of Vision dying, Wanda recreating Vision, then Wanda
Again?
dying, and then Vision recreating Wanda, and it's just
Ship
this
of
like
Theseus.
it's
What
just this
parts
circle.
Are still there.
Yeah, yeah.
Can count.
Yeah.
I think it's great. It's like that movie Bicentennial Man. What makes
Did
us
very
human?
well.
What beautiful stuff. No problems with that movie at all. Daredevil Born Again. You mentioned this earlier. A Disney Plus live action series originally announced as spring 2024. Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio have been spotted training in New York City.
What's that?
Maybe they're just working out, keeping up their bods.
Just together.
Yeah. The show will be a whopping 18 episodes
It's-
long. I think that number
excited.
will come down.
I think it will
so,
too. I think that episode will. That number will
18
absolutely.
I
come
think
episodes.
down.
that's gonna stay.
I think it's gonna grow.
I think they're going to test out what the Marvel. Okay, so we've done.
They're going to test our
we've done.
patience.
Well, we've done the specials.
Right.
We've done the Groot was like 7 minutes. We've done all these different formats.
What if these are 7 minutes long?
7 minutes of 8 episodes. No, but with Daredevil, like, he's your most bankable show. So why not flex that muscle if you've got a year of filming with these two?
All I ask is, after 3 seasons of the Netflix version, please do not give me a storyline of him losing his powers. I'm so tired of it. It happens every time on Netflix where it would start with, I can't hear, or like, my head's ringing.
It's a sinus infection.
It's just
God, the sinus. There was one
Breaks
where
his
he
nose.
literally he was like, I just can't breathe through my nose right now. I was like, what do you mean you can't breathe through your nose? I think a big part about I'm most excited about Daredevil coming from Netflix over to Disney. I'm so excited. I love Daredevil so much. So that I'm saying that first. Why is it so important to them to get Daredevil in so fast? Like, does that make sense? Like, they're definitely doing like Armor Wars, Secret Invasion, and Loki. But it also seems like we see so much online about Daredevil born again, and I'm like, why is this one so important? Is there something so major in it that affects a lot of things, or is it just because he just showed up in She-Hulk briefly?
We're going to see him and stuff before this.
Yeah.
I think Daredevil's pretty integral to what they're building, because even Charlie Cox has said, like, I'm good the next 5 years.
I love
I love the idea that Kevin Feige knows the strength of this character. So I don't think this is the next time we see him.
Well, I didn't know if it was like they're putting him in so many things that I'm like, what is he doing that's such a big hiccup? Like, if Adam Warlock is brought in, it's like, he's a massive thing. He's going to rip through planets.
Well, I think it's also a situation of, you have most movies, superhero movies, end with the hero being stronger than they were before when they started. And Daredevil is a good example of like a street level hero that stays about the same. He never like levels up his power. You know, he gets good at fighting, but it's not like he gets better at echolocation or whatever.
Weapon.
Right? Like, and you need these street level heroes when you have like Thor becoming Odin, basically, when you have Iron Man constantly getting stronger and stronger. You know, like, it's good to have these kind of street level stuff, so it's not always like the world's at stake every time. We just have this street at stake.
I think that's what they're trying to get
right
into
now.
with Cassie and Quantumania, where she's like, I solve things on the ground.
Yeah, I wanna
but I
help
also
people.
think it's like, in She-Hulk, they made it very known that like no one knew who he was past the East Coast.
But we also need that, I think, in this next phase. I think that Armor Wars, one of the strengths of that is it could be Iron Man in scale, which is still big, but not Kang Dynasty big. And I think that we need to lean like New World Order, I'm hoping, is a little more contained. They're talking about like all the stuff doing with the president. I'd like few of these properties. I think that's the big thing Phase 4 didn't have, was that there wasn't a lot of grounded. We did a lot of those big. But even if you look at like Shang-Chi, spoiler alert for a year ago movie, but like the first 2 acts are really grounded. But all of a sudden it's like, we gotta go to this.
But it was
as
also just
beautiful as
like
that
to save that town, like that no one really knows about, so no one cares,
so
right?
we need, I think,
it's
the
not your
street
family.
level, and that's why I think it's 18 episodes. I think you can introduce a lot of new street level characters. I think you need something week to week that's more street level. I think, honestly, that's one of the things Marvel needs to focus more on going forward, is the stuff that feels more tangible, so we're invested in the characters. I've always said that like a punch lands twice if you care about the hero and the villain. That's what Daredevil did so well. We haven't really gotten that yet. Like with Kang, I loved what Majors did, but I felt like it was another opportunity for them to be like, he's gonna get bad. And I'm like, I feel for this guy, but I want to feel the Kang that I was told. So I think we need to like contain ourselves a little bit.
Oh, we all want to feel the Kang.
I mean, come on.
I say add a 0 and do 180 episodes.
Bring it.
What's
3
next?
years.
So Captain America New World Order, that is scheduled for release on May 3rd, 2024. We know filming started this month. The next movie scheduled after the Marvels, or this is the next movie scheduled after the Marvels. Will the Marvels delay be pushing the rest of the movies back?
Well, what
Right?
they say it again? I always come to this and I always
So this
forget.
was
Marvel's taking
originally,
place when?
if you look at this was the movie that was supposed to come after the Marvels.
No,
This was original, back when the Marvels was coming out July 28, 2023. The next movie was going to be Captain America New World Order with all these other series in between.
I think there's already a big gap. Sorry, Jessica. What were you
No,
gonna
I
say?
said I meant what is this following? You said that the Marvels follows 2005. You said on the break room like a couple days ago that it was like in a press thing that the Marvels is following Carol Danvers from the first movie. It was. I swear, I'm not making this. I'll go back and look it up. But you said, and it stuck with me so much because I was like, oh, then the Marvels is more about their relationships than it is about going to save things. So if it's pushed, I don't think it really matters because it's more about their dynamic and relationships between.
What I might have been saying was like, Carol Danvers hasn't been on Earth since Endgame, and now she's like, boom, immediately brought back to Earth. Doesn't know anybody really because most of the heroes that she interacted with. The main Avengers, they're gone, right? They're either dead or off planet. She knows Wong from talking to him.
Thor.
And
From the hammer moment.
Yeah, and
Oh.
Thor and stuff like that. And she knew Bruce Banner. She was having that conversation at the end of Shang-Chi. But it's like, she doesn't really know anyone, and she's immediately sucked out of space and put on Earth, and like has to be like, I was in the middle of stuff. I don't like Earth anymore. So it'll be an interesting story.
I don't like
but
Earth
if they
anymore.
do keep this cadence and still have New World Order come out after the Marvels, and it's closer than it was originally supposed to be.
Yeah.
If
still
they
6 months,
if they
though.
keep New World Order where it is on the schedule and Marvels is closer to it, then the Marvels could play more into New World Order than
Yeah,
we had
for
originally
sure.
anticipated.
I mean, in a in an annoying way, it could still do that, and then it's like how Black Widow started after she died, right?
Right,
so
right,
it's
right.
like we just know that it has to go back, it jumps back a little bit.
I think the only thing that really affects New World Order as directly as necessary is Secret Invasion. I feel like there's going to be events
Yeah.
in Secret Invasion that cause the New World Order
Yeah.
of note. I think that maybe we see the president die in Secret Invasion, and that leads to Harrison Ford as president, which leads to
That has to be.
I think we see
Yeah.
certain elements that also will be important for Armor Wars. Honestly, of all of these things, I think Armor Wars needs a release date the most. Just because I feel like those are two very important elements leading to a new Avengers team that is going to be foundational. And I also think we're going to see Simu in all of this. Like, I think we're going to see the Avengers
He
form.
said we're gonna see him sooner than we think.
Yeah.
It's so interesting because I still think I think Secret Invasion is the most important, but I'm
I think it's
also
gonna be very important.
not that excited.
But they're also they're keeping two things, right? Like if the only
Yeah.
two that are guaranteed are we know how important Loki is,
Right.
and we can assume how important Secret Invasion is.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting that anything that isn't those two is like we've said a lot of maybe. I
Yeah.
think those are the only things they're really
Yeah.
honing in on, and I think that's really healthy to be like, let's look at these next
These
projects.
two stories.
Well, they have
Yeah.
to because they've been talking about it for freaking 4 years and never doing anything
Yeah.
about it.
So we've got some more titles to cover, but let's thank some more of these super
Oh, okay,
chatters.
yeah, some super chatters. Miko Savira saying, first time donator, MN check in. MN is Minnesota.
I think
Maine.
so, yeah.
And it
no.
is Maine.
ME
Minnesota.
is Maine.
ME is Maine, MN is Minnesota.
Minnesota. If you're not from Minnesota, I apologize.
And MT is Montana. or Master
Thank you for the
Mountain
super
time.
chat. Boogie's World. Dark Car saying, Dark Car has a Star Wars question real fast. How did Ezra and Thrawn survive the jump into hyperspace with the windows blown out?
Oh, Dark Card, no problem. They held their breath. Nerd! Thanks, love you too. Just kidding. I actually don't know. That's a good question.
We might get an answer to that in the
I'll
Mandalorian.
look it up and I'll answer it on an episode of WikiLeaks. So now you got to watch it on Wednesdays.
New Master brings up a thing I think we've talked about before. When using pin particles, don't you need the helmet? Why do we see him without the helmet in Quantumania? I always thought that too. I thought they said that in the movie, in the first one. I went back and rewatched it. They never do. Because if you remember in Ant-Man and the Wasp, no Quantumania, the second Ant-Man movie, when he's in the school and he's shrinking and growing, he walks around tiny with his helmet off constantly. Also in Hawkeye, when they use the Pym arrow and shrink the dudes in the truck,
yeah, they're
that
dead.
truck's not hermetically sealed. And they didn't immediately die. And then an owl rips them to shreds, which
Yeah.
was one of the most horrific things introduced into
Honestly,
the MCU.
that's probably the most
right.
ruthless thing that happened.
I
in
thought
the
you.
MCU.
I don't know.
thought
They
there
flushed
was,
a man down a toilet.
I thought
being picked up
yeah.
by an owl is way worse
It's
than a
eaten
toilet.
alive.
He got
It's
turned to
brutal.
goo.
And then
And then
flushed
flushed
down a
toilet.
toilet.
Maybe
I don't
still
know.
alive. Maybe still
I
alive.
don't
Sheesh.
An owl is just feeding you to its baby.
But yeah, I always thought like because you were tiny, I don't know. You don't. The helmet mainly protects your brain from pin particles because they're.
This has
dangerous
just
for
been
you.
an overload of information
Right.
today, guys. I got to be honest with you.
Thank you, Jonathan Hammer. Thank you, Real Trees. Nothing funny to say. Just begging Tommy Bechtold to hit the graphic for me one extra time.
Well,
we're not
hitting
doing
the
mandatory fun
graphic today.
Give him one. Give him one. Give him
No,
one. But
I
we won't
won't.
do. Okay.
Ouch.
Sorry.
I won't hit the graphic whenever you please. Not even for my good friend, the Real Tree. Hit it again!
Thank
There
you.
it is.
Thank
Nicely
you.
done.
Yes! You know what? Sometimes the graphics don't make the cut. Now play me the graphic of MODOK's butt.
No.
Oh!
No. And Jakarta also saying.
I will play the graphic whenever I can. Now show me the hunky photo of Jonathan. Damn!
Deleted.
Sorry, I did that for Jessica.
magazine cover?
Go
You
get
know
it off
what?
my desk.
Come on, we've got.
Well,
Life is full of despair and bad endings.
Right.
Now play me the graphic of thirsty thespian endings.
of course we kept this one. We also got a super chat from Jakarta saying, "Will Hank's abandoned ants evolve into the Brood or the Phalanx later?"
That is
I would
fun.
love if they became the Brood.
That
That
is
would be
really
insane.
fun.
Yes.
And they have to be like, "Hank, what did you do?"
As always, Hank.
I like ants.
I
like
said,
ants.
Saved $8.
I just
I like
saved
Brood.
$8. Also coming out from Marvel, that's on the slate, Thunderbolts. That
my
release is
God.
scheduled for July 26, 2024.
We're in
Variety-
2030. I was told this was the 2023 speculation calendar. We're in the year 2094 now.
Variety reports that Thunderbolts will shoot this June.
Son of
Also-
Iron Man, 2019.
Hot take, they'll change the name Thunderbolts versus Young Avengers.
Yeah.
Blade is a movie that was originally announced as November 3rd, 2023. We now know that got pushed back. It's September 6th, 2024, due to the departure of original director of the film, Bassem Tariq. Blade will allegedly start filming in May. Allegedly. I love the use of allegedly there.
As they
Allege.
allege, if you can trust them.
I think this one's a thing. I think Blade was specifically mentioned by Kevin Feige in his everything
yeah.
shifting. He mentioned it filming soon. He didn't mention a lot of things. He did
No.
mention this. I think these next two are going to be maybe before some of
Right.
the other releases.
Right, and Deadpool 3 is
That's
scheduled for November 8, 2024, which is great. And Deadpool also starts filming in May. They put out both of those announcements.
I feel like those
last
are-
week, this week. This, of course, will have Hugh Jackman's Wolverine and
Yes.
Patrick Stewart being told to be on standby for the film, which is a good idea.
That's a thirsty move. We
Yeah, it's a
told
good
Jackman
thirsty
will be playing
move.
a dual role. We have the Hulk versus Buddha in 2026.
No.
Yeah, yep, we do. We have Shatterstar versus the Illuminati.
I love
in
Shatterstar.
2019 again.
When are we
We're
getting
revenge
Alpha
for
Flight?
Daredevil.
When are we getting Alpha Flight?
We've got Captain America versus the coronavirus. That's a little bit of a prestige drama.
Oh, no. Prestige.
Who's
Streep's
starring
in
in
that
that
one.
one?
Yeah.
Meryl Streep's Captain
Meryl
America.
Streep's playing Captain America.
It's a big swing.
Spider-Man 4.
Meryl Streep is all of us. Sorry.
Spider-Man 4 is threatened to be
Thomas.
announced.
Threatened to be in
They're threatening us with it. Sony keeps saying they're doing it. They said they have another trilogy lined up, I think, is what they kind of had said that not long after No Way Home came out. Kevin Feige has announced that Spider-Man 4 is being written.
Hot take.
Okay.
Spider-Man 4 should not touch any of this because we finally need an actual Spider-Man that's not tied to the Marvel
Right.
Universe.
Yeah.
Because he finally has a reason to be a friendly neighborhood guy.
But you have to
I
have
hope-
Spider-Man and Kang's Dynasty or Secret Wars.
That's part of why I hope they push those two.
Yeah.
I want a Spider-Man 4 that's just Spidey, and then maybe 5 he reunites, and then 6 can tie after Kang. But
Okay.
Spider-Man 4 can be wherever because it
I
should be
don't
its own
hate
thing.
it. I like it.
Let him be over here.
Don't forget, there's Moon Knight versus the Mummy due out in 2027. Santa Claus Fights the Micronauts is due for July 2029.
Yep.
Tommy, I don't think these are real.
Some of them are
Fantastic
real.
Four is scheduled for February 14th, 2025.
What if we kissed at the Fantastic Four premiere?
What if we kissed there? We don't know much about the movie. Matt Shakman has spoken about his excitement taking on the project. He's going to be directing it. There were rumors that casting has started, but nothing official has been announced.
I think we get cast soon because of all these shifts, and that is a way to
Yeah.
bring up morale again. And I think
Yeah.
it was going to originally be at Comic-Con, but now it's going to be before Comic-Con, and then at Comic-Con there's going to be a duel between the X-Men Fantastic Four announcements and DC's big slate announcements. It's going to be the biggest Comic-Con.
Yeah, there's no D23 this year, so Comic-Con
Comic-Con's
will
gonna
be
be
a
spicy.
big, very big for.
And we'll
for
be
Marvel.
there.
We'll be there.
I think it's going to be like a really smart move of Marvel to go like, here's a little taste, and then we got bigger. And February 14th is fun because it sounds
This
like they're
is-
casting it around Sue, so we'll have Marvel's
Yeah.
First Family be a story of love, and we'll get 60 feet of tube.
I love it. I
I'm
love
60
it.
just
feet
hearing,
of tube.
yeah, you get a closed
tying all
feedback
that
loop.
together.
I'm just getting in my here. We're gonna have Armor Wars versus Ironheart versus
No,
Iron Man
what?
versus Secret Wars.
Oh, okay.
That's due out in 2031.
Okay.
That's starring Timothy Chalamet in a quad role. He'll be playing Iron Lad, Iron Cad, Iron Had, and Breaking Bad.
I was hoping for Iron Sad.
That's what I'm playing.
Hold the
Avengers,
peach.
Avengers Kang
Aw,
Dynasty.
you can't be sad
That's
with a
coming out
peach.
May 2nd, 2025. Dustin Daniel Cretton's directing. Jeff Loveness is writing. Loveness kind of said that we might see Yelena Belova in that.
Yeah.
Shuri. We know we're going to see Namor, but we're going to hear it. Kang will obviously be in it. Kang Dynasty. With things getting pushed back, this feels likely to be pushed back. That's what Koi's saying. We might see that. So we make sure all the right characters get introduced in movies before it comes out. And of course, Secret Wars, scheduled for May 1st, 2026. Everyone's got to be in this one. And I bet tons of people die in this
It's
one.
time for mandatory fun.
No, we're not doing
Tommy is awaiting a scream over
Oh,
you.
that's good. I say Comic-Con, Kevin Feige comes out, announces Fantastic Four cast, if they haven't already, X-Men cast, announces Spider-Man 4 officially, gives us a little synopsis. Deadpool's going to have footage, and then they're going to reveal that those dates are pushed. That way it's a positive overall.
Yeah.
And then we also find out those are like 2027,
If you're-
and that reshapes the whole MCU.
If you're Kevin Feige, do you want to go before the DC panel or after the DC
If
panel?
I'm Kevin Feige, I want to show confidence in that I can come after the DC panel. So I would literally have DC be like a lot of big news, and then I would have footage that they can't have. because they're not
'cause they
filming
haven't
yet.
filmed anything
So
yet.
I would say like you use the spectacle of what Marvel is, which is the cast members are the characters. So I'd do the thing that Loki did. I'd bring out people like actually in character.
right.
I'd show a ton of footage, front load, and then just overwhelm the internet because the internet's going to do reaction-based stuff before it does news-based stuff. So I would go after and just bombard.
If Kevin Feige wants to impress us, he'll hang full dong at Comic-Con. We've got some
Just
great
a hat.
videos coming up this week on the slate. Jessica and I are about to break down Creed 3. Heard of it? You got my Bad Batch view ripping up the charts on YouTube right now. Episode 11, the closest Star Wars has ever come to a horror movie, in my personal opinion. What else we got, Jessica? What do you got cooking for us?
That's it. I'm going to Virginia next
we're
week.
still doing our Last of Us coverage. Check it.
right.
Tune in on Sunday.
That's the last one. Or
Well,
next
this
week.
Sunday we'll be covering Last of Us episode 8. We'll have a breakdown on the channel next week.
Eric Voss and I are freaks in
Wookiee
the
Leaks
sheets
is back?
and gentlemen in the Wookiee Leaks.
March 24th. There's a little rumor out there. If you're going to be at WonderCon in Anaheim this coming March 24th weekend, you might find new rock stars there that Friday afternoon doing a panel. So if you got WonderCon tickets or you don't have them yet, it's not too late. Get in there, come to WonderCon. You might see us there that Friday. You definitely will. We have a panel on Friday. Check it out. We've talked way too much today, I think.
I don't know. I think we got a few more titles to
Just
squeeze
warmed
in
up.
there.
Are there any new titles?
We got another shoot.
It's time for mandatory fun.
Oh, no.
Mandatory buy.
Don't forget that the Jubilee trilogy will start in 2027.
Yes.
We thank you all for tuning in this week. Tune in next week. Join us on Sunday and all our days next week. We're doing the break room late as gate as. Have a great rest of your weekend. Go to nerdriot.shop. Adios. Goodbye. Please let me go home.